Yeah, so I looked it up. I think just a few years ago, a flattering biography, or whatever it was about Trudeau. Common Ground, that's what it was called. I can't really say I'm an expert on Trudeau if I don't know what his autobiography was called. Was it an autobiography or... I'm sorry, was it a autobiography or biography? I don't even know that. They never write their autobiography anyway. It's always written by a ghostwriter. Ben Shapiro was a ghostwriter forever. I remember somebody asked Ben Shapiro, like, do you type as well as fast as you talk? And he said, faster. I've been writing people's biographies for a long time, dude. Anyway, yeah. His father, his brother, him, all have connections to the Chinese Communist Party in terms of publications. No question about it. He says he didn't get paid. It was a security advisor who said, no, if you had asked us, we wouldn't have. He's a big fucker, isn't he? I've known that old bastard forever. Really. Scary. Yeah. He doesn't like me. That is for sure. I think it's because I sort of looked down on him when he was running a little food stand, snack bar thing. I always thought he was such a loser. Turns out he owned the place. This is an amazing place in that way. Because you can run across somebody who you think is like almost homeless, and they are rich as hell. Maybe I can find that old lady. Yeah, that's unreal. Should I tell her story? Yeah, so she owns like 40 or 50 apartments around here, and all her kids are just like latching on. So they run a little convenience store sort of thing. Here I'm gossiping about the neighbors. It's funny. Yeah, whatever. Yeah, they're all here. I'd say hi to that fat guy there if I wasn't busy with this. Anyway, yeah, I can understand why they went to China, wrote a book. It's a fascinating thing. It's prescient in a way. They understood how important China was going to become. You know, you have to admire them on that level. But I remember Justin Trudeau's father was asked, you know, if you could, would you turn Canada into a communist country? And he said, yeah, if it was possible, I would. He's got major connections, big-time friends with Fidel Castro. If Fidel Castro and Margaret Trudeau didn't, that'd be amazing. Because she's like a sex addict, right? And so is he. And they spent a lot of time together. When Justin Trudeau's father was there. I don't think that Justin Trudeau's ever processed the pain of that. I mean, for sure, we know this, that his mother cuckolded his father in public with the Rolling Stones and all that. Justin Trudeau's father wasn't the greatest either. He used Margaret as a kind of a breeding mare, didn't he? Just like a 22-year-old, incredibly narcissistic person. People at that age, like 1970s or something, they were all incredibly narcissistic, just dripping with it. Oh my God, that was so ridiculous. I think there's a big relationship between marijuana use and narcissism. Anyway, Justin Trudeau's definitely a narcissist, and I think that you know, maybe you should have some sympathy for that, like for all narcissists in a way, because it's either neglect or too much adoring attention as kids that causes that, isn't it? Maybe we should follow the Christian ideal and be compassionate and forgiving and understanding and all of that kind of thing. But once you do that with Justin Trudeau, you have to do it with Trump too, don't you? I swear to God, honestly, I think that if you wanted to understand those two men, what's different about them, you have to understand that there's something that Donald Trump loves more than himself, and that's the United States of America. There's nothing Justin Trudeau doesn't love more than himself. Maybe his wife and kids. That's it, man. Yeah, anyway, so we know for sure that he just got his book published, Flattering Portrait of an Biography. I don't imagine it was too critical, was it? Claims he didn't get paid. Claims he didn't know the publisher did it, I think. That he wasn't asked. Just horseshit. Everything he says is a lie. He's lying when he tells the truth. The Asian Infrastructure Bank, that's something that came up. So there's an article in the Globe and Mail about his book being published. Nothing about his brother or his dad, but about this recent one. I think it was like in 2015. And they mentioned the Asian Infrastructure Bank. So you just keep coming up with stuff. Like the Asian Infrastructure Bank, I'm pretty sure is paying for the Belt and Road Initiative. So what is the advantage for Canada to invest in the Chinese Belt and Road Initiative? The Belt and Road Initiative is a chance to engage in predatory lending and bring the world under Chinese control. Why are we investing in that? Like, even if we made money, which I don't think we did, and I don't think, I have to look at that, but I don't know what the advantage for us would have been there exactly, unless we made a lot of money for betraying ourselves like that. We paid the CCP for the vaccine, right? Did we ever get that money back? I don't think so. They took our money. Okay, let's start from the beginning. They created the virus. Somehow it got out, and at the end of it, they've got a bigger market share than they did before the virus. They came out of it ahead economically. So you want to believe that it was let out accidentally? Go ahead. They're willing to sacrifice their own people. It was designed to just kill the old and the sick. From their perspective, that'd be great. Get rid of the old and the sick. The productive people, during the lockdowns and all that in China, people working in industry are still going to work. They're just locked there. I know this, okay? People during this, great lockdown in China, maybe I shouldn't say I know it, but I know that people who would know that kind of thing told me directly myself, right? Yeah, they just locked them in the factory. You had to keep going to work if you died or whatever. Who cares? They didn't care. Obviously, they wouldn't care about that. I've never met a Chinese person who wasn't intensely ashamed of this whole COVID deal. They have a really serious paranoia about they're going to be treated badly because of what they did. And part of the reason for that is that if somebody had done it to them, they would have treated that person very badly. So they're projecting onto themselves. If South Africans or something had brought that disease to China, man, that would have gotten ugly. So they're projecting that they're saying that this is their trip, right? I'm not saying this is a trip. Honestly, I'm a little paranoid in here because there's a underground psychotic that hangs around here. God, I hate him. I hate a lot of people. I hate him because he's got a little restaurant that there's a lot of fucking cockroaches come from his restaurant and climb up the wall and get in the window of my kitchen. Well, that's funny. What's happening now?